So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So I hope you are aware that every Sunday at 8 p.m. we are having static GK discussion where actually we discuss the static GKs and in the past few days we are discussing polity. है ना? And so in today's class also we will continue with that discussion where actually then further we'll discuss about international relations also. So static GK with regards to that. So let us begin. And in the last class, I think we were somewhere here, right? So in the last class, we were talking about the 44th Amendment. 44th Constitutional Amendment. यही पे थे ना last class में. So please tell me, what was the answer? And the 44th Amendment. And so we were talking about this, that this was passed by Janata Party government. Janata Party government. Right. So in 1978, in response to 42nd Constitutional Amendment 1976, we discussed this. 42nd Constitutional Amendment 1976. In response to that, 44th Constitutional Amendment 1978 was passed by Janata Party government to reverse not everything but to undo or reverse many of the provisions that were mentioned in 42nd Constitutional Amendment 1976. And which was called as mini constitution 44 42 वाले को 44 को, which is called as mini constitution. Please tell me. Mini constitution. Yes, 42nd constitution is amendment is called as mini constitution. Okay? Yes. It was enacted by Janata Party government. It also nullified this unjustified power to the government. Okay. So it is the right answer to this question. Okay. Now, and we had discussed also that there were 7 fundamental rights. One was excluded or removed by this amendment. What was that? Please tell me. This is a revision of the last class, and then we'll move forward. Yes, this is important for MH set also. Yes. Polity constitution वहां भी पूछा होता है. So there were 7 fundamental rights. Now we are having 6 fundamental rights. That one was removed by 44th Amendment. That's called as right to property. Yes, very good. Right to property. Good. And it's mentioned in Article 19(1)(f) and Article 31. Let's move on. The impeachment of the president can be initiated where? So the constitution uses impeachment word only for the president and not for any other post. So you have to be very crystal clear. Only impeachment of president happens. In case of Supreme Court and High Court judges, removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges happen, not impeachment. Technically, it is not correct. Either house of the parliament. Yes, you can initiate impeachment of the president in either house of the parliament. Under which article of the Indian Constitution? See, before CLAT 2020, so the pattern was changed. है ना? So before this, at that time, Mr. Donald Trump's impeachment process was very much in the news. Okay. So before CLAT, since they had changed the pattern for the first time after 2020, they had given actually a sample paper. In that sample paper, there was a GK question talking about Donald Trump's impeachment. And there they had asked which article of the Indian Constitution is there for impeachment of Indian president. ये हमको याद है, देखो इतना पुराना. That I remember. So which article was that? Yes. MXIFYY. Yes, you are right. Article 61. Maxify, you are right. Article 61 of the Indian Constitution talks about impeachment of president. This was the question in 2020 sample paper. Voice echo हो रहा है क्या? हाँ? Question in 2020 sample paper. Impeachment of Indian president. Is it echoing? Voice echo हो रहा है क्या? Because I checked it, I could not find any such thing. Is it so? Is the voice clear? I hope the voice is clear. Okay, yes. So Article 61, President can be impeached for violation of the Constitution. Okay. That is what you should be knowing about. Okay, so the reason, the ground for impeachment of the president is violation of the constitution. That is mentioned. For example, in case of Supreme Court judges, in Article 124, the ground for removal is mentioned as proved misbehavior or incapacity. है ना? So that is what you should know. The next is, which among the following amendments to the constitution designated Delhi as NCT, National Capital Territory? अच्छा एक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूं. India's capital is, first option Delhi, second option New Delhi, third option Old Delhi, fourth option none of the above. देखें क्या आंसर करते हो. Yes, the right answer is 69th amendment. B is the right answer to this question. It was brought in 1990s, है ना, 1991, है ना, and provided for a chief minister and a governor, etc. and all, है ना. What is this? What is the answer to this question? Hopefully you should be answering it because the answer is on the screen. Acha, please tell me, who is the chief minister of Delhi? And recently we have seen a new lieutenant governor of Delhi also. Who is the chief minister of Delhi? And who is the lieutenant governor of Delhi? Please tell me first. Chief minister of Delhi is Mrs. Rekha Gupta ji, है ना? Rekha Gupta ji. And lieutenant governor is अभी recently appointed हुए, former Indian ambassador to America, है ना, former IFS officer, Mr. Taranjeet Singh Sandhu, है ना. I think this is the name. Am I right? A spelling है ना, SANDHU. Yes, Taranjeet Singh Sandhu. Okay, now I have one question. They are like the chief minister. She is actually chief minister of New Delhi, Old Delhi, or entire Delhi. Or Mr. Taranjeet Singh Sandhu is the lieutenant governor of New Delhi, Old Delhi, or complete Delhi. पूरे दिल्ली के चीफ मिनिस्टर है कि सिर्फ नई दिल्ली के चीफ मिनिस्टर है? That you should first answer me, because I know a lot of people have. Complete Delhi, government of NCT Delhi का मतलब ही हुआ national capital territory. It means the entire Delhi. ठीक है. But we are taught in school days कि capital of India is New Delhi. कोई Delhi बोल देता ना, बोलते नहीं New Delhi is the capital. But no, the capital of India is Delhi, which includes both New and Old Delhi. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ New Delhi वाला हिस्सा capital है, Old Delhi वाला नहीं. That इसमें लिखा ही हुआ national capital territory means Delhi we are talking about. Please do not get confused with NCR. This is National Capital Region. इसमें नहीं. This includes Delhi plus I think 23, 24 कुछ और districts हैं of other places. Yes, NCT National Capital Territory Delhi means Delhi, पूरा Delhi. So the Chief Minister Rekha Gupta ji is the Chief Minister of entire Delhi, है ना? Similarly, same is the case with Lieutenant Governor. ठीक है? So the right answer is option B, 69th Amendment. B is the right answer to this question. ठीक है? And you should know the capital of India is Delhi. ठीक है? So ध्यान रखिएगा. Next is, which among the following schedules of the Indian Constitution mentions 22 languages? अच्छा, these languages को हम क्या कहेंगे? National language, official language, classical language, scheduled language. कौन से language कहेंगे इसको? At least paid batch students should be named. Right answer is 8 schedule. Earlier we had 14 languages. Now we are having 22 languages. Earlier, matlab, when the constitution was made in 1950, now we are having 22 languages. B is the right answer. They are not national language. National languages are two, Hindi and English. Sorry, national language you do not have. Official language, Hindi and English. Classical language we have discussed in the paid class 6 plus 5, 11. Or scheduled language. This is scheduled language. Please do not call them as official language. These are not official languages. इसमें सिर्फ Hindi official language है. ठीक है? Now, so how to remember? Should we call it as scheduled language, or at max you can call it as Indian languages. They're called as Indian languages. Okay. So basically, the idea is these are languages of Indian subcontinent also, not only India. But I'll tell you why, because there's a reason behind this. इसको समझना जरूरी है, ठीक है. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सो दिस इज इंडिया. ओके, आई एम मेकिंग अ रफ स्केच. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा आगे पीछे हो सकता है, बट दैट इज हाउ इट इज. ठीक है. Now, this is India, but I am sure you must be aware India's old cultural values is not limited to this. Actually, even in Nepal and Bhutan and Bangladesh and even Pakistan. So this was also once a part of India. Okay? So that is why when we are talking about these 8 languages, which are 22 languages mentioned in 8 schedule, this should be reflection of Indian subcontinent. Because a lot of cultures are even today in India from Indian subcontinent. For example, here you will find in Pakistan a region called as Sindh. But a lot of people are actually in India. They have their Sindhi culture. They celebrate Sindhi marriages, Sindhi culture and all, right? So that is why you will find Sindhi language also here. Although Sindh is not in India. But the values and the culture still flows. Hai na? That's the idea behind this. Similarly, I'm sure you must be aware. So in Nepal is also considered as part of Indian subcontinent. Yes? So you can see it here. Nepali is somewhere should be. Yes, that is also one of the Indian languages. Okay. So why I'm saying so, because maybe that, because this will help you like in eliminating the options like that. Now, if I'll be saying English is not mentioned here because this is not an Indian origin language. Similarly, Arabic is not mentioned, but Urdu is mentioned. Why? Because Urdu language was born in India, in around Uttar Pradesh, in West Uttar Pradesh region. Hai na? This was formed as a result of a mixture of Hindi, Arabic, Persian, Sanskrit, English, many other languages. And that's why this is also an Indian language. Okay. Similarly, Kashmiri is, of course, Kashmir. Dogri is also in Kashmir region. Bodo land, I think it's in northeastern region. I think somewhere on Assam. है ना? बाकी Assamese, Bengali तो आप जानते हो, Gujarati, Hindi, of course, no doubt. Hindi is also an official language of India. Na? Kannada is in Karnataka. Then Konkani is in Goa region. I'm sure you must have heard about Konkan railways connecting Mumbai, Goa, and etc. region. Maithili is in Bihar. Anna. Malayalam is in Kerala, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali we have discussed. Odia is from Odisha, Punjabi, Sanskrit, you know, of course, it is an Indian language. Santhali, this is actually a tribe in Odisha, Jharkhand region, where you will find like the current president, she belongs to Santhali tribe. Na? Sindhi we have discussed. It is not in India, but of course we have Sindhi culture, and Sindh is not, it's actually considered as part of Indian subcontinent. Tamil is in Tamil Nadu, Telugu is in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana region, and I like that. Why I'm telling, because we have seen question, which of the following is not mentioned in 8 schedule. इस तरह question आ जाते हैं कई बार, ठीक है? So you should have a rough idea that if these types of questions comes, you should be able to handle. जैसे उसमें एक लिख देंगे English. English is not an Indian language. They will write Arabic. Arabic is not an Indian language, but Urdu is mentioned. That is a part of it. Okay. So I'm just giving you a rough idea about this. Okay. The next is, which among the following schedules mentions 3 list? Three list: union list, state list, and concurrent list. The right answer is yes. B is the right answer. 7th schedule talks about this. है ना? Union list है ना? So like defense, foreign affairs, atomic energy, currency. State list में जाएगा police, public health, agriculture, local government. Concurrent list: education, marriage, divorce, bankruptcy, insolvency. ठीक है? So these are the things you should be knowing. अच्छा, हम कुछ question पूछते हैं. Census is being conducted right now. This you will find it in which list? Census. अभी हो रहा है, मैंने, we have taken a class on census also. Yes, union list. ठीक है? That is what you should be knowing. Good. तो कुछ चीजें तो आपको पता होना चाहिए, because it is being recently in news, है ना? Now, just wait. I am attaching next slide. Okay. Now, so let us, I think the slides are visible, hopefully by this time. Yes. Okay. Now let's talk about some international related news which we have seen in the past, and we have seen one question with regards to Cold War and with regards to the former Soviet Union. अभी 3-4 साल पहले CLAT में क्वेश्चन आया था, ठीक है? So let us first talk about this. Cold War. What was Cold War? You have to tell me. (1945 to 91). What was that? थोड़ा सा कोई बता सकता है? Yes, and you are right. It happened after World War II. So World War II कब हुआ था? World War I कब हुआ था? ये बताना है. Capitalism versus socialism, right? So 1914 to 1918. This was 1939 to 1945. So Cold War was actually from 1945 to 1991. Friction between which two parties? है ना? Yes, someone has written capitalism versus communism. हाँ, socialism भी लिख सकते हो. Communism. So from capitalism side was which country? It ended with USSR dissolution, right? CLAT, right? Huh? CLAT aspirant, good. So from capitalism side was USA, from communism side was Soviet Union, USSR, Soviet Union for Socialist Republic, it was called. Okay. And the major powers at that time mainly between two ideologies. Yes. Now please tell me that USA had formed an international alliance. What was that called? And Soviet Union had formed an international military alliance. What is that called? कुछ तो पता होगा. मतलब we have discussed. I've taught in the paid classes also. Yes, Aradhya, very good. NATO was formed by USA, and still it is in the news. Anna. Warsaw Pact. Yes, Aradhya, very good. Huh? Warsaw backed by Soviet Union, but of course, I'm sure you must be aware Soviet Union got dissolved. So we do not have any such thing. Okay. Okay, so which two countries were on either sides in Cold War? And I'm sure you must be aware. We've already discussed B, US and USSR. Okay. So the period in world affairs from 1945 to 1991 marked by ideological, economic and political hostility and competition between US and USSR. So basically it was an ideological war between capitalism and communism. Okay. Yes, B is the right answer to this question. Okay. So ये US का था, ये USSR का at that time flag था. So that is how we reflect the Cold War, है ना? So what happened was actually here ये USA है, and this was also USA, of course, part Alaska part of USA, and here जो है ये Soviet Union था, USSR, ठीक है? Later on it got split into Russia. In 1991 it got split into Russia and 15 other countries. ठीक है? जैसे इस रीजन में you will find countries. कौन सा countries है today? Anyone? Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan. I'm sure you must be aware, है ना? So what we call it as Central Asian countries. Central Asian countries. Why I'm explaining this? एक CLAT 2021 में क्वेश्चन आया था, and one of the option was talking about this term Central Asia. कि with the help of Chabahar port is here is in Iran, we will be able to reach Central Asia. So first you should be knowing what is Central Asia. So Chabahar port पे क्वेश्चन था 2021 में आया था. Why can't offline paid by student attend your online? CLAT aspirant, I'm not sure about this because this is an organization's decision. This is the decision not taken by me. तो वो मैं नहीं जवाब दे सकता उसका, ठीक है ना? I'm not sure about that. ठीक है. So the answer, there was a question in 2021 asked that Chabahar port, they are asking about Chabahar port, and one of the benefit of India for making Chabahar port is with the help of which we can reach to Central Asia. So you should be knowing what is Central Asia: Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, etc. अच्छा, यहां पर एक कंट्री है, this country, this was again asked in 2021 CLAT exam, that this country before 1991 was part of which, so उस country का नाम लिखा हुआ था XYZ is a country which was part of dash before 1991. ठीक है, so they gave 4 option and the answer was USSR, सोवियत यूनियन का पार्ट था. I am asking reverse, ये XYZ country का नाम बताना है. Yes, Ukraine. So this is Ukraine which was a part of सोवियत यूनियन बिफोर 1991. ठीक है, ये पूछा था. इसके ऊपर में बेलारूस, हेयर इज बेलारूस, ट्रायंगल टाइप का कंट्री. दिस इज एक्चुअली नॉन एन इंडिपेंडेंट कंट्री ऑफ कोर्स, बट बेलारूस इज प्रो रशिया. इनफैक्ट इट अलाउड, है ना, रशियन फोर्सेस टू गो टू, इट अलाउड इट्स टेरिटरी टू मूव द मिलिट्री टैंक एंड अटैक यूक्रेन, है ना. तो आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ दिस थिंग्स. ठीक है, फिर यहाँ पे सब है, जॉर्जिया वगैरह है, आर्मेनिया है, सबका भी हिस्सा, दैट वाज पार्ट ऑफ सोवियत यूनियन. ठीक है, तो ये बेसिक चीजें इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन से रिलेटेड, एंड वी हैव सीन क्वेश्चन, सो आई बिलीव यू शुड बी नोइंग अबाउट. ठीक है, चलो एक दो चीज और पूछते हैं. ये कौन सा माउंटेन रेंज है? इंटरनेशनल लेवल की कुछ बेसिक ज्योग्राफी यू शुड बी नोइंग, which almost differentiate European part of Russia and Asian part of Russia. Caracas, नहीं Caracas तो ये वेनेजुएला की कैपिटल है. Someone is saying, अच्छा Caucasus, ओ Caucasus यहाँ पे, ये है Urals, Urals mountain. Yes, very good. हाँ. और ये वाला बताओ तो कौन सा है? This I'm making it, writing it B. ये कौन सा माउंटेन से? ये सब बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट पता होना चाहिए. नॉट एंडीज, नॉर्थ अमेरिका की बात करें, कनाडा यूएस को क्रॉस करते हुए, नॉट एंडीज. रॉकीज, रॉकीज माउंटेन्स यहाँ पे. और ये वाला जो है ना, पेरू चिली, ये वाला, यहां पर कौन सा माउंटेन रेंज है? हाँ, रॉकीस्तान, उसका ऊपर वाले का आंसर. इसको आई एम राइटिंग सी. ये कौन सा माउंटेन रेंज है? एंडीज. यस, दीज आर एंडीज माउंटेन रेंज. और इससे पर है माउंट अकानगोआ, है ना, हाईएस्ट पीक विच वाज रिसेंटली अचीव्ड बाय एन इंडियन, अकानगोआ, एन इंडियन फ्रॉम अरुणाचल प्रदेश. आप सर्च कीजिएगा, वो करंट अफेयर्स का पार्ट था. ठीक है, चलो एक चीज और बताते हैं, ड्राइएस्ट प्लेस ऑफ द वर्ल्ड हम लोग चलते हैं. आई एम मेकिंग इट विद ब्लैक पेन, ऐसे येलो से बनाना चाहिए, डेजर्ट है एक तरह का. दिस ब्लैक पेन से, ये कौन सी जगह है? यस, अटाकामा डेजर्ट. वेरी गुड, अटाकामा डेजर्ट. ठीक है, एक दो और बताते हैं फिर आगे चलते हैं. ये तो आपको लगेगा कि सर यही बात करने रह गए. यहां पर है, विच माउंटेन्स इज देयर? नॉर्थ अफ्रीका, ब्लू कलर से मैंने बनाया. एटलस माउंटेन्स. ठीक है, और यहां पर एक डेजर्ट है, मंगोलिया और चाइना के नॉर्थ में. विच डेजर्ट इज दिस? वेरी फेमस. गोबी डेजर्ट. यस, वेरी गुड, गोबी डेजर्ट. यहीं पे से आती है ना हवांग हो रिवर. और रिवर जो होता है ना, हवांग हो रिवर, इट्स कॉल्ड एज सॉरो ऑफ चाइना. सो व्हेनेवर रिवर टेक्स सिल्ट, अगर रिवर में पानी के साथ सिल्ट आ जाएगा तो फ्लड होने का चांस बहुत हाई होता है. chances of flood is very high because of course it causes a lot of, it takes a lot of siltation from desert and of course it causes floods. That's why it is called as sorrow of China. इसीलिए परेशानी, चाइना की परेशानी इसको कहते हैं, या दुख कहते हैं. ठीक है, सो वैसे तो बहुत सारे माउंटेन्स हैं एंड डेजर्ट्स है, बट आई हैव जस्ट डिस्कस फ्यू ऑफ देम. लेट्स मूव ऑन. अच्छा, एक क्वेश्चन और आया था, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन, मैं कई एग्जाम में देख रहा था. हाँ, आई थिंक दैट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज येलो रिवर इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. हवांग हो ही को कहते हैं. हवांग हो को येलो रिवर कहते हैं। यस, हवांग हो को येलो रिवर कहते हैं, राइट। लॉन्गेस्ट कोस्ट लाइन विच कंट्री इज हैविंग, ये क्वेश्चन आया था अभी, मैं देख रहा था किस एग्जाम में, स्टार्टिंग जीके का पार्ट। कौन से कंट्री का सबसे लंबा कोस्ट लाइन है? एंड आपके स्क्रीन पर मैप बना हुआ है वर्ल्ड का। येलो लाइन रिसेंटली इन न्यूज, विच येलो लाइन? अच्छा, वो सदर्न लेबनन से जो बॉर्डर बन रहा है उसको कहते हैं येलो लाइन, तो उसको तो अलग से बताना पड़ेगा फिर, ठीक है। कनाडा, यस, वेरी गुड। तो अगर आप देखोगे कनाडा का इतना लंबा ये है ना, फिर आप देखोगे ये सब कनाडा का हिस्सा, ये सब दीज ऑल आर, यहाँ तक पूरा कनाडा है। ये वाला ग्रीनलैंड है वैसे, तो वो तो डेनमार्क का पार्ट है, पर आप देखो बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे आइलैंड्स है, तो उसका कोस्ट काफी लंबा हो जाता है, तो द आंसर इज कनाडा, ठीक है। से पूछा था किसी एग्जाम में। देखो यही सोवियत यूनियन है। 11 नंबर इज टुडे रशिया, आज ये रशिया बन गया, ठीक है। बाकी दिखाता हूँ। 14 नंबर इज यूक्रेन, रफली है। 14 नंबर जो है ये यूक्रेन का है, देखो 14 नंबर यूक्रेन लिखा है। 3 नंबर बेलारूस है, नाउ इट इज अ फ्रेंड ऑफ रशिया आल्सो टुडे। 8, 9, 8, 4 ये सब जो है वो है एस्टोनिया, लैटविया, लिथुआनिया, है ना। सो ये कजाकिस्तान है, दैट वाज आल्सो कजाकिस्तान, पार्ट ऑफ सोवियत यूनियन, है ना। फिर उज्बेकिस्तान है 13 नंबर, ठीक है। सॉरी, तुर्कमेनिस्तान, ये वाला उज्बेकिस्तान होगा, उज्बेकिस्तान 15 नंबर, और ये वाला तुर्कमेनिस्तान। फिर है किर्गिस्तान, ताजिकिस्तान, ठीक है, ये सब सेंट्रल एशियन कंट्रीज हो गया। फिर यहाँ पे जॉर्जिया, आर्मेनिया, ये सब हो गया, ठीक है। सो आई हैव गिवन यू रफ आइडिया, एक रफ आइडिया होना चाहिए, है ना। ये वाला जो है ये एस्टोनिया, लैटविया, लिथुआनिया कहेंगे इसको, है ना। 4 नंबर इज एस्टोनिया, है ना, एस्टोनिया, लैटविया, लिथुआनिया। अच्छा, आपको पता अभी भी यहाँ पर ये जो हिस्सा है ना रशिया का, इवन टुडे दिस एग्जिस्ट, ये रशिया का पार्ट है थोड़ा सा, ठीक है। सो दैट इवन टुडे आल्सो एग्जिस्ट। नेक्स्ट इज इन विच ईयर यूएसएसआर गॉट कोलैप्स्ड? होपफुली यू शुड बी नोइंग इट। और उस टाइम पे जो मेन सेक्रेटरी जनरल थे कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ रशिया के, मिखाइल गोर्बाचेव, उनके जमाने में, और उनको कहा जाता है कि उनसे कुछ डिसीजन लिया गया, उन्होंने, गोर्बाचेव, बिकॉज ऑफ विच दिस इवेंट हैपेंड 1991, है ना, ठीक है। सो ही टुक 2 डिसीजंस, ग्लासनॉस्ट एंड पेरेस्ट्रोइका, पढ़िएगा कभी, ग्लासनॉस्ट एंड पेरेस्ट्रोइका, whenever you get a chance please read, ठीक है। Which of the following, अच्छा अब देखो क्या हुआ अभी, हाँ, इजराइल लेबनान बॉर्डर को येलो लाइन कहते हैं, राइट, हाँ। Which of the following were not the leaders in the formation of non-aligned movement? पहले ये बताइए नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट क्या है, फिर we'll be talking about that. What is that? हाँ, जोसेफ स्टालिन, सी इज द राइट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन। हाँ, सोवियत यूनियन का पार्ट है। तो कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट का, कोई बता सकता है एनीवन? नॉन अलाइन, कहीं दोनों में से कहीं पे भी हम अलाइन नहीं करेंगे, मतलब यह है कि हम किसी तरफ झुकेंगे नहीं। थोड़ा सा हिंट दे दिया मैं, प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस। Belgrade Conference, yes, 1955 Belgrade Conference happens. Then in 19 Bandung Conference happened 1955. In 1961 Belgrade non-alignment was established. Not to be part of socialist and communist, but and not to be part of capitalist also, both the sides. हाँ देखो, Cold War was happening from 45 to 91, ठीक है। So on one side was capitalism led by USA, and on other side was USSR, है ना, which was having communism कह लो या socialism कह लो, because socialism is also a part of communism, a sort of a communism, an example, ठीक है। खैर, now इंडिया को कंफ्यूजन क्यों था, इंडिया या किसी भी थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्रीज को, दोज हु वर द nascent कंट्रीज, जो नए कंट्रीज बने थे, न्यूली इंडिपेंडेंट कंट्रीज। सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट इंडिया। सो यू गो बैक, हो सकता है अभी नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट इज नॉट वैलिड, बट एट दैट टाइम इट वाज वेरी मच वैलिड। पहले आप चीज समझो, 1950 में वी हैव जस्ट गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस, ठीक है। इधर यूएसए कैपिटलिज्म के साइड में एक और एक कंट्री, उसका नाम है यूके, है ना, फ्रांस, ब्रिटेन, सब कुछ है. वी हैव गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस फ्रॉम वेयर? फ्रॉम यूके, राइट? सो वी कैन नॉट गो हियर, इधर का तो कोई स्कोप ही नहीं. व्हाई? बिकॉज यूके इवन यूएसए, दीज कंट्रीज वेयर एक्चुअली, इनके पाले में एक जो शिकायत थी वो ये थी कि दे वर डूइंग कॉलोनियलिज्म और इंपीरियलिज्म इसको कहते हैं ना. एंड वी हैव जस्ट कम आउट ऑफ दिस 2-3 years बैक. 2-3 साल पहले आजाद हुए. So we were part of colonialism for many years. So we cannot think of joining that bloc. ठीक है, चलो अब इधर चलते हैं. इधर आएंगे तो क्या परेशानी है? So if you talk about Soviet Union, we have seen actually during those days that it was hardly like there were issues with democracy, democratic values. Democratic values were not present. Democratic values present नहीं थे. Okay. आपने देखा ही होगा, आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ दैट, है ना, एग्जांपल. सो वी वर टॉकिंग, वी हैड जस्ट बिकम इंडिपेंडेंस एंड वी हैड द आइडियाज, है ना. तो जवाहरलाल नेहरू वाज वेरी मच इंस्पायर्ड बाय सोशलिज्म, बट दिस डज नॉट मीन कि वो जो ओरिजिनल फॉर्म ऑफ सोवियत यूनियन जिस फॉर्म में था उस टाइम पर, ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ स्टालिन एंड ऑल, वी कुड नॉट हैव जॉइन दैट बिकॉज अगेन दे वर नॉट डेमोक्रेसीज एंड वी हैड जस्ट बिकम इंडिपेंडेंस. सो वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट डेमोक्रेसी फॉर पास्ट मेनी इयर्स कि ट्रू डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यू शुड बी देयर. In fact, we fought against British. We fought for freedom of speech. We fought against British and all for democratic values. And the moment we become independent, we should join Soviet Union bloc. No. So India has decided not to join any military alliance. ठीक है, we should stay neutral. इस पर बहुत criticism वगैरह भी, बहुत सारी चीजें, किताबें लिखी गई and all. But that is the idea. And I think at that time it was the best option. उस टाइम पर और क्या कह सकता था, वही कह सकता था. ठीक है. So that is what you should know. So the 5 countries first, the idea came in 1995, 1955. Bandung conference happens in, I think, Indonesia में जगह है ना. Then in 1961, finally Belgrade, Yugoslavia में that was formalized, है ना. So Belgrade, है ना, 1961, है ना, this was formalized. So 5 leaders, Yugoslavia के president थे जोसेफ टीटो, Indian Prime Minister जवाहरलाल नेहरू, Egyptian President जमाल अब्दुल नासिर, Ghana is a country in Africa, उनके president थे क्वामे नक्रूमा, and Indonesian President Sukarno. ठीक है, so these 5 were the main leaders of non-aligned movement. I hope this has to be very crystal clear. और ये सब class 11-12 के NCERT books नहीं पढ़ाया जाता है, so I believe you should be knowing about that. ठीक है, is it clear? समझ में आया? Many people says after 1990s, जब 1991 में Soviet Union collapse कर गया, so many scholars write that now non-aligned movement is actually not very important or has become redundant. That is what foreign policy expert says. So now we use the word strategic autonomy. India is enjoying strategic autonomy. ये word use किया जाता है, the Hindu editorials वगैरह पढ़ोगे तो मिलेगा आपको. Strategic autonomy. It means what? It means India is not, it will be multi-aligned. Non-aligned नहीं, multi-aligned. Will not be completely neutral, will be engaging with all the countries. ये है 1991 के बाद India's foreign policy. For example, India is engaging with US as far as trades are concerned. Yes. India even is engaging with China. Yes, we are having more than almost $100 billion trade. Even though we have some frictions when it comes to the border and all, but still we are having huge trade with them. Okay? We are having trade with Russia. We are having deal with Israel, and at the same time we have deal with Iran also. Although we कुछ issues हो गए थे, but the idea is still, है ना, in Arab countries also. So multi-alignments, that's the idea behind this. Or strategic autonomy means India's foreign policy should not be dictated by anyone else. That is the original idea behind this. इसीलिए अभी रिसेंटली जब यूएस ने कहा था कि वी आर अलाउइंग यू टू बाय रशियन ऑयल, ये कुछ दिन पहले कहा था ना इंडिया ने, यूएस सेड टू इंडिया. So a lot of criticism happened. Why is USA allowing us? Like, this is our choice. We are having a strategic autonomy. We don't need we are not dependent on anyone else as far as foreign policy is concerned. Okay, so इसलिए वो बात काफी आई थी. खैर, let's move on to the next one. Where is the headquarters of WTO, World Trade Organization? What is the right answer? Geneva, Switzerland, is the right answer. What is the job of WTO? वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जॉब क्या है? Members 166 members. Official language English, French, and Spanish. Formation January 1995. What is its job? All major international alliance headquarter are there. Not all, but हाँ काफी सारे का है. जैसे बहुत सारे का नहीं भी है. For example, UNESCO is headquartered in Paris. UNEP is headquartered in Nairobi, Kenya. UNICEF is headquartered in New York. तो बहुत सारे का नहीं भी है. ठीक है. So, but yes, many of them. Yes, you are right. Many of them are headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. ठीक है. Reduce trade barriers. हाँ, the idea is to reduce trade barriers. It's a free trade agreement at world level. यही idea है. Final achievement यही है. ठीक है. ठीक है. That's what you should know. So, World Trade Organization headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. So this is Switzerland. इसमें Geneva है. Switzerland. अच्छा एक क्वेश्चन पूरे Geneva से. Yes, it replaced GATT. You please tell me. There's an organization based in Cologne in Switzerland. In Geneva, in Switzerland, a very famous international level NGO, which conducts annual summit every year in Davos in Switzerland. Davos यहाँ पे east यहाँ पर कहीं पे मिलेगा Davos Switzerland में. Every year in January. Those who are my paid batch student must be answering it. एक इंटरनेशनल लेवल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, एनजीओ है, कोलोग्नी जेनेवा स्विट्जरलैंड में इसका हेडक्वार्टर है. ये हर साल जनवरी में डावोस में सबमिट कराते हैं. उसमें बड़े बड़े लोग को बुलाया जाता है. टॉप हेड ऑफ द स्टेट्स एटसेट्रा आर आल्सो इनवाइटेड. वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम. वेरी गुड है ना. इस साल भी हुआ था सबमिट. यू शुड बी नोइंग. अच्छा, हम लोग चूंकि डब्ल्यूटीओ की बात कर रहे हैं, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट डब्ल्यूटीओ. सो एक होमवर्क मैं दे रहा हूँ, प्लीज वॉच इट. आप सर्च करना ब्रेटन वुड्स कॉन्फ्रेंस करियर लॉन्चर लॉ इंटेंस, ऐसे करके सर्च करना ब्रेटन वुड्स कॉन्फ्रेंस करियर लॉन्चर लॉ इंटेंस से सर्च करना. यू विल गेट अ वीडियो. देयर वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट ब्रेटन वुड्स एग्रीमेंट. दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट. आपको एक बैकग्राउंड पता होना चाहिए. इट वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1944, led to the establishment of World Bank, IMF, GATT. Then GATT was later on replaced with WTO. तो इसका आइडिया वहां पर मिलेगा. ठीक है, प्लीज वॉच दैट. You search it Bretton Woods Conference, Career Launcher Law Entrance on YouTube. You will get a video. Okay. So we are stopping this class here. Please subscribe to our channel. Press the like button. Share this video. Tomorrow we'll be meeting you at 3 p.m. with MHSET class, MHSET revision series. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching.